Authorities are calling it a successful roundup of alleged child sex offenders, but it also shows how widespread that crime is in North Texas. The Dallas FBI office, along with some of the 70 law enforcement agencies that all participated, announced the results of what they called Operation Soteria Shield. Here's our JD Miles.
These are the faces of the 244 men and women charged with exploiting children for the purpose of sex trafficking or pornography. It's the end of a month-long investigation by federal and local law enforcement of a crime that authorities say is a year-round problem.
The numbers of offenders arrested and the children rescued in this operation are stunning. It's stunning to hear them repeated here.
109 children were rescued by Operation Soteria Shield, which began in April.
During this operation, many of the children recognized or rescued were previously unidentified. They had never been reported missing. They had never had their abuse known to authorities.
The operation not only led to arrests and rescues, but also to the seizure of terabytes of child abuse sex material through a collaborative effort that started 10 years ago and now includes 70 Texas law enforcement agencies.
What started as a small team with a bold idea has grown into something very powerful.
In a lot of these cases, authorities say the sex offenders never actually meet their victims face to face, but instead use technology to coerce them into sending explicit images and videos. The head of the Dallas FBI office says the methods used are not just involving social media, but also online gaming systems.
So I think for many of us, I'll speak for my generation, we were raised to be concerned about faceless strangers that might try to contact us or cause us harm on the street. But we've moved past that. Again, predators have access to our children in our home through technology.
Authorities urge families to use parental controls on any devices kids use.
This is so sad that 244 men and women was taking advantage of children. And, I'm glad they was able to rescue the 109 kids that they was able to find. But one of the things that stood out to me is when they stated that some of the kids wasn't even reported missing. They didn't even know what was going on with these kids. So that made me think that maybe the parents actually sold these kids, because who would not report that their kids are missing? So, some of these parents may have sold their kids into, you know, trafficking, or they was doing it themselves. They was putting their kids in those positions themselves. And, that's very sad to think about. But, with everything that's going on in the world, I feel that more energy should be put towards finding these kids and trafficking, sex trafficking, rather than protesting that this country is actually following the law. And some of the people they're actually getting out are people who are taking advantage of children. But you have so many people on the streets mad about that, but they're not mad about what's going on with these kids. And that's the sad part of the state of the world today. So I just wanted to share that with you. Thank you for watching. My name is Delmarshae. Please like, share, and subscribe.